There is a shift happening right now that you can't fully see, but you can feel. You may not yet have the evidence in your hands, but in your spirit, you sense that something is moving. That the right people, the aligned connections, the divine appointments, they are gravitating toward you in this moment. And no, this is not a coincidence. It's not wishful thinking. This is spiritual alignment at work. A magnetic pull that is beginning to surround your energy like a field of light. You have gone through seasons where you felt deeply misunderstood. You've been around people who didn't know how to honor your spirit, who couldn't see your light because they were too blinded by their own shadows. You've experienced what it feels like to shrink in order to be accepted, to silence your soul just to keep the peace. But that version of you is dissolving now. What's rising in you is a version that refuses to dim, a version that radiates without explanation. And this version of you is not just attracting, it's activating. Before we go deeper, if this message resonates with you already, comment your warmest wishes and 333 or 222 below, and share this with someone who might need it. You are not alone in this shift. We rise together. Chosen one, this is the season where you will no longer chase. What is yours will arrive. The right people are being drawn not by your effort, but by your essence. And that's the beauty of energy. It cannot be faked. It cannot be forced. It reveals the truth. And your truth is beginning to ring like a bell in the spirit realm. Those who are meant for you are starting to hear it. You see, there's something sacred happening within you. You're returning to your center. You're realigning with your authenticity. And with every step you take in the direction of truth, your energy becomes more potent, more attractive, more unmistakable. This is why people who never truly saw you before are beginning to notice your light now. Why people who once overlooked you are now drawn to you. Not because you've become someone else, but because you've become more of yourself. And that energy, that kind of frequency, it calls in divine connections. It pulls in people who speak your language without needing translation. It draws in those who don't just tolerate your presence. They recognize your purpose. They feel at home in your vibration. But here's the deeper truth. This magnetic field around you wasn't built overnight. It's the result of your inner work, of your tears in silence, of your transformation in hiddenness, of your faith when nothing was working, and still choosing to walk forward. The universe doesn't just respond to words, it responds to alignment. And you, beautiful soul, are aligned now more than ever. So expect encounters. Expect phone calls, messages, invitations that seem random but are orchestrated by divine timing. Expect that a conversation you weren't planning will open a door you've been praying for. Don't be surprised when you suddenly feel seen, heard, supported, because you're being mirrored by people who carry the same frequency as your soul. But remember, as the right people are being drawn to you, so too will the wrong ones begin to fall away. Don't fight their exit. Don't hold on to what was only meant to teach, not stay. Your elevation requires clarity. And sometimes, clarity comes through separation. This isn't punishment. It's preparation. This is what happens when your frequency changes. Everything around you begins to shift to match it. The conversations you entertain begin to feel different. The invitations you receive start aligning more with your purpose. Even the strangers you meet carry messages you didn't know you needed, because you've stepped into the flow now. Not the hustle, not the proving, the flow. You don't need to force doors to open. You are the door. You don't need to beg for a seat at someone else's table. You're building your own. And the right souls are coming to sit with you. Not because you shouted, not because you convinced, but because they felt the call. The spiritual realm has already given permission. The movement has already begun. The energy you carry is sacred. You've been tested to protect it. You've been taught how to discern who drains it and who waters it. You now understand the value of being surrounded by people who truly get it, not just intellectually, but spiritually. These are the ones who don't ask you to perform. They don't need your resume or your receipts. They feel your presence and they say, "You're one of us." And when that happens, when two or more aligned souls meet in truth, miracles begin to manifest. You don't have to chase anymore. You never had to. That was the old version of you that believed you had to earn love, prove value, or audition for belonging. But your soul was born worthy. And this season is about receiving without guilt, without resistance, and without fear. The people coming into your life now are not bringing confusion. They're bringing clarity. They're not amplifying your wounds. They're reflecting your healing. But here's the divine instruction. Don't talk yourself out of these blessings. Don't disqualify yourself when divine alignment knocks. Don't sabotage the goodness just because it feels unfamiliar. Many of you have been in survival mode for so long that peace feels strange. That being loved without having to suffer first feels suspicious. That support without strings attached feels like a trap. This is your reminder. It's not a trap, it's a gift. You are safe to receive now. You've done the work. You've walked through fire and didn't lose your heart. You've been betrayed and didn't lose your compassion. You've lost and still found reasons to believe. The universe, God, Spirit, whatever name you call the divine, has taken notice of this. And that's why these alignments are coming in. Not because you're lucky, but because you're ready. The ones being drawn to you now won't be intimidated by your light. They won't compete, compare, or confuse your authenticity for weakness. These people will walk beside you, not in front of you, not behind you, because they are equals in spirit. They carry purpose, just like you. They've been through the dark too. And now they're walking into the light, just like you are. So breathe. Let go of what left. Make space. You don't need a crowd. You need alignment. You don't need everyone to understand. You just need a few who see you. And those few, they're already on their way. You'll know them by the way they speak to your soul without trying. You'll recognize them by the peace they carry, by the silence that feels safe, by the joy that feels familiar. When they arrive, don't question it, welcome it. Because this is not the beginning of something random. This is the return of everything you lost and forgot to hope for. There comes a moment when your inner world becomes so radiant, so unshakably aligned, that it begins to magnetize the exact souls that were written into your destiny long before you were aware. These aren't just connections, they're divine appointments. And they arrive not by coincidence, but by orchestration. You may notice it already. Certain people leaving your life silently, without drama. Old energies fading. Conversations that once intrigued you no longer hold your attention. It's not rejection, it's redirection. The more you shed the layers that were built from survival, the more you shine in the truth of who you are. The right people are not impressed by your performance. They're inspired by your presence. They don't need you to be perfect. They resonate with your honesty, your growth, and your quiet power. You'll know they're sent by God when they meet your vulnerability with grace, not judgment. And understand this, your energy has become a signal, not a scream, not a demand, just a signal. A quiet, consistent signal that only the right souls can hear. Those who are not meant for your next season are now spiritually deaf to your frequency. It's not personal. It's divine design. Their silence, their exit, their disinterest, it's proof you're being repositioned. You're not being abandoned. You're being cleared for alignment. And the new connections coming in, They will feel easy. Not lazy, not passive, but easy. Because divine things don't come to complicate, they come to confirm. These people will reflect to you the very things you've been nurturing in secret. Vision, depth, love, discipline, and resilience. They'll remind you that your journey hasn't been in vain. There are people praying for someone like you right now. People who are navigating their own wilderness, their own healing, and asking the divine to cross their path with light. And you, unknowingly, but precisely, have become that light. Your authenticity is the answer to someone's silent prayer. But you must protect your field, your peace, your essence. The same energy that draws in the aligned will also attract the curious, the envious, and the draining. Not everyone deserves front-row access to your transformation. Guard your energy like it is sacred, because it is. Let your spirit discern who is truly aligned and who is merely intrigued. And let's speak on something else important. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your elevation. When blessings begin to flow, when support starts showing up, when opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere, understand that it's not luck, it's legacy. You've planted in silence, watered in solitude, and now your harvest has a sound. That sound is your name being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. That sound is your spirit being felt before you've even spoken. That sound is the divine announcement that your season of spiritual drought is over. Now comes the abundance, not just in material, but in connection, in love, in support, in inspiration. You're entering a time where you won't have to chase who's meant for you. The right people will find you even in the most unlikely spaces, because when your energy is true, it travels. It reaches. It calls. And trust me, they will answer. This is your reminder. Do not dim your light to be understood. Let your light reveal who is capable of standing in it. Let it guide the ones who've been searching for someone just like you. Your courage is medicine. Your honesty is healing. Your growth is a roadmap. You are not behind. You're just becoming visible to the ones who are meant to walk with you from here. So lift your head. Open your heart. Let yourself be seen. Because what's coming next is already circling your orbit. This next chapter isn't just about who you're meeting. It's about who you're becoming in their presence. Because when the right people walk into your life, they don't just bring comfort, they pull something out of you. Your power, your voice, your vision, your essence. They remind you who you are, especially on the days you forget. And the beauty of divine connection is this: there's no striving, no pretending, just flow, just ease, just resonance. These aren't people you have to convince of your worth. They already know, not because you've told them your whole story, but because your spirit carries the echo of truth. They sense the miles you've walked, the storms you've survived, the faith it took to remain whole. You don't have to explain your heart to them. They feel it. So prepare to be celebrated in rooms where you used to be overlooked. Prepare for conversations that feed your soul instead of drain it. Prepare for unexpected collaborations, divine ideas, and sacred timing that makes your jaw drop. The energy around you is activating everything you prayed for, and now it's magnetizing who you're meant to do life with. The lonely seasons weren't punishment. They were preparation. You had to get comfortable in your own company so you could recognize the difference between company and companionship, between distraction and divine alignment, between presence and purpose. This is why you've been clearing space, emotionally, mentally, energetically. This is why some people disappeared, why certain doors closed, why what once fit now feels foreign. Because heaven is filling that space with greater. And here's the part many forget: you are also being drawn to someone's light. You are someone's right person. You are the safe space they've been praying to find. You are the aligned energy they've been working to meet. Don't underestimate the power of your presence. You are not just receiving alignment, you are becoming it. So trust what's arriving. Don't second guess it. Don't rush it. Don't talk it away with fear. Let it unfold. Let it bless you. Let it grow you. And above all, remain open. Because when God sends the right people, they won't just help you build your dream. They'll remind you that you were never crazy for having it. The people who are entering your life now, they're not here to repeat the past. They're here to co-create the future. Together, you'll rise. Together, you'll heal. Together, you'll pour light into a world that desperately needs it. And you'll do it not from a place of ego, but from a place of divine knowing. You were never meant to walk this path alone. And now, you won't have to. Get ready. The shift you've been feeling in your spirit? It wasn't a coincidence. It was the first whisper of alignment. And now it's here. Let it all in.